Hello, everyone. Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022 video. 2022 has a lot of upcoming movies that look awesome, and I'm excited to share with you the movies I'm looking forward to the most. Before I start the countdown, I just wanted to say a couple of things. We are still in the pandemic, which means that dates are still subjected to change. So if you come across this video sometime during the summer and some things I say don't age well, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm also not doing any honorable mentions, despite the fact that I'm looking forward to more than 10 movies in 2022. Feel free to comment below what movies you're excited for the most. And with that said, let's start the countdown. Kicking off with number 10. Number 10 is Knives Out 2. I absolutely loved the first one that came out in 2019. I thought it was such a great mystery and it was so damn funny. I loved it way more than I thought I would. With this sequel, you have director Rian Johnson coming back, and Daniel Craig is also coming back. But aside from Daniel Craig, it's a completely new cast from the first one. You have Janelle Monáe, Kathryn Hahn, Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Leslie Odom Jr., Jessica Henwick, Kate Hudson, and Ethan Hawke. This sequel doesn't have any plot details yet, but with Rian Johnson coming back, the cast being killer, and given how much I love the first one, I have very high expectations for this sequel. So I can't wait to see what this movie brings us. Number 9. My number 9 is Top Gun Maverick. This film has been delayed so many times, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about it a couple of times on my channel already. But regardless, I'll emphasize the reasons why I'm looking forward to this again. So I thought the first one that came out in 1986 was a lot of fun. It's not one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, but it's still pretty good. With this sequel, I think it has potential to be even better, especially judging from the trailers that look epic, especially on the IMAX screen. I love Tom Cruise. I think he's a great actor, especially a great action star. So I can't wait to see what kind of stunts that he does in this film, but more importantly, how much they're going to expand the story and to see if the sequel will be justified after so many years since the first one came out. I'm hoping they finally stick the release date this time because it's supposed to come out 2 days after my birthday, so fingers crossed. Number 8. My number 8 is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of people have this movie way higher on their most anticipated list. So I understand that some of you may be surprised, but don't get me wrong, I am still very excited for this movie. I thought the first one was pretty good, and the sequel has always been a fascinating idea for me. But what really had me hyped for this movie is SpiderMan No Way Home. Now, I assume most of you who are watching this video have seen No Way Home already. I won't give any spoilers just in case, but for those of you who have seen it, you know that they're kind of continuing the story with this new Doctor Strange movie. And you also have Sam Raimi coming back to direct a Marvel movie after 2007, since he directed Spider-Man 3. I can't wait to see what Sam Raimi does with the MCU. And more importantly, I just can't wait to see how this movie compares to not only the first Doctor Strange, but to No Way Home, especially since they're focusing on the whole multiverse aspect. I think this movie looks great, and I can't wait to see Doctor Strange 2. Number 7. My number 7 is Nope. For those of you who don't know what this movie is, it is a new horror film written and directed by Jordan Peele. It stars Steven Yeun, Daniel Kaluuya, and Keke Palmer. There's not much to say about this movie since there's no trailer or a plot synopsis yet, but knowing that Jordan Peele is coming out with another horror film and having these 3 great actors is more than enough to get me excited. Despite only directing 2 films, Jordan Peele has established himself as an excellent filmmaker, and he's one of those directors that could come out with any movie and I'll be instantaneously excited for. I hope we get a trailer soon. Number 6. My number 6 is Scream. Or to clarify, Scream 5, but they're still calling it Scream. I'll say Scream 5 for this video. Anyways, I have high expectations for this one. I honestly love the trailer. I don't think I've said this before, but I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Scream franchise. I don't like the third one, but I either loved or really enjoyed every other movie in the franchise. With this one, you have 3 returning actors coming back, and you have a whole new cast, which looks great. It looks very different too, and obviously you have a different director because Wes Craven passed away in 2015. You have the directors of the movie Ready or Not, which is a very fun horror film, and I have to say, judging from the trailer, it still feels like a Wes Craven movie. I was telling one of my best friends that, and They're continuing the story of the other movies in an exciting way, it seems, and I can't wait to see the movie next week. Number five. My number five is Mission Impossible 7. It's crazy that this franchise is still going. The first one came out in 1995, and unlike the Fast and Furious movies, this franchise just keeps getting better and better. The last movie, Mission Impossible Fallout, has been one of my favorite action movies of the past decade, and the possibility that this new movie could be better than Fallout makes me so excited. So once again, there's not many plot details, but given how much I love the franchise, I'm willing to have more than enough movies as long as they keep the quality consistent. And there's no plot details yet, but that does not change my hype level. I wonder what other crazy ass stunts Tom Cruise is going to do in this movie. And more importantly, how great is the story going to be? Number four. My number four is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. I have to admit, 2022 looks like a terrible year for animated movies. I mean, this is legitimately the only animated movie I am hyped for. I'm really excited. I was really excited before that awesome trailer, but the fact that it's going to be two parts makes me confident that this is going to be even more epic than the first one. The first one is one of my favorite Marvel movies ever, and the possibility that they could top that one is just, it makes me even more hyped than I originally was. Especially, like I said, they're going to make it into two parts. Miles Morales is such a great character, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with his arc next. The animation looks absolutely stunning, and it's probably going to be an incredible watch in the IMAX screen. After the success of Spider-Man No Way Home, I am so down for more multiverse movies. Number three. My number three is The Northman. This looks epic. I'm surprised this movie was even on my list at all because the director is not one of my favorites by any means. He is certainly not a bad director, but his other two movies are not really my cup of tea. This movie wasn't even in my radar because of that, but the trailer, man, it looks glorious in all the best ways. The cinematography, the scope of it all, the performances look absolutely brilliant, and this honestly looks like the adult version of The Lion King. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be gory. I will be there to witness it. Really hope that I love this one, and I'm excited to see how this movie turns out. Number two. My number two is Killers of the Flower Moon. As far as I'm concerned, everyone should have this movie on their list. This movie is directed by Martin Scorsese, and it stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. It's a Western about members of the Osage tribe in the United States. They're murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. This is going to be epic and probably very violent, funny as hell, really long but consistently engaging, and more incredible performances by these brilliant actors. My prediction is that this movie is going to come out sometime around Oscar movie season, so between September to December, it'll be out. And that plot synopsis and Martin Scorsese making the movie makes me want to see the movie right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's Scorsese's first Western, and that alone makes the hype that much more high. Number one, my most anticipated movie of 2022 is The Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero of all time. My favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan's trilogy will always have a special place in my heart. And I'm just here to say that I'm really excited to see what Matt Reeves does with this iteration of the character. The trailers for this film have been absolutely phenomenal, and I think Robert Pattinson is going to be the perfect choice for this character. The cast is killer all around, but I have to say the performance that I'm looking forward to the most is Paul Dano as the Riddler. Paul Dano has always been such a great actor, but in this movie, it looks like he's going to take it to the next level, which is saying a lot given his track record. And like I said, everyone in the cast looks great. And the feel of it all, it looks very comic booky. And it just looks like the movie is going to be masterful. The cinematography looks beautiful. The score sounds awesome. And I'm really digging the tone. It's also nice to see that this movie is standalone. So what that means is that there's no connection with other movies. This is just its own thing. I love the MCU, don't get me wrong, but it's refreshing to see a superhero movie today that doesn't necessarily have to be connected to so many movies and so many TV shows. And that's not a jab at the MCU, like I said, I'm just saying that it's just refreshing to see that, especially with this movie. I think this has potential to be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time and just one of the greatest movies of the year in general. Hands down, this is my most anticipated movie of 2022, and I will be there in IMAX opening night. And that is my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Share with me your most anticipated movies of 2022. And next week, I'll be releasing my top 10 best TV shows of 2021 list. There's a little bit of a delay with that video because Dexter New Blood has its finale on Sunday, and that show will be on my list, whether it's top 10 or honorable mention. I won't give that away just yet, but yeah, I guess that's mild spoilers for that video, but whatever. I'll be having that video sometime next week, hopefully, and look forward to that. So thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and share the video if you want. I'll see you guys next week, and thank you guys again. So until then, take care.